Welcome to Comic Power. I am your host, Comic Killer 72. Today we're doing a new segment called the Quick Flip. In comic book investing terminology, the quick flip normally means you have something for a very short period of time that you sell for a profit and had no intention of holding it for the long term. At my channel, I'm going to incorporate the phrase quick flip and make it mean real down and dirty, real fast information about this channel and other comic book news. We're going to do it today in 9 minutes and 20 seconds. Okay, now that you understand, let's go ahead and get right into it. DC is in the process of making a Shazam live action movie, and some on-set images have leaked of what it looks like. And it almost broke the internet when these images came out looking very kooky looking. Personally, I didn't think they were real at first. I thought it was bad cosplay. First of all, those boots look worse than the Superman 2005 reboot that failed. So bad, I'm not even going to show a picture of it. And the Shazam cape is terrible. It looks like the curtains from your grandmother's living room. It turns out that I was wrong about this being bad cosplay. The image you see is real. And we know this is real because it was confirmed by the star Zachary Levi, who's playing Shazam. And what he said in a nutshell was that the picture that leaked wasn't planned and they will have a better picture later. Well, that later needs to be right now because DC's reputation is in tatters, so they need to release something official as soon as possible because the image that leaked looks like crap. The Shazam movie is scheduled for a April 5th, 2019 release, but it's early March 2018 at the time I released this video, and DC doesn't have another full movie coming out until December 21st with Aquaman. So Marvel is giving us Black Panther, then Infinity War, and then Ant-Man. Of course, Fox is putting out a Deadpool and a Dark Phoenix movie with the X-Men universe. So with all this Marvel stuff coming out and no DC projects coming out to December, some casual fans are going to think that DC quit the movie business altogether for superheroes. So if a future project leaks and it looks terrible like this does, then that's just another blow to their credibility, which is already in the dumpster. And why did DC fail to make a big deal about Zachary Levi getting the lead role in the first place? Marvel cast both Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange and Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther a whole 2 years before their movie came out. And they made a big deal about it. On DC's front, I had no idea that Shazam was even cast yet until I did the research about this leak. I bet you didn't know it either. The only thing that we did know that was confirmed was that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson had been confirmed as Black Adam. And we knew about that because The Rock is very viable on social media. He talked about it and he confirmed it. If not, we may have not known about that either. But what's strange is at the IMDb page for Shazam, the Black Adam character isn't even listed in the cast. Black Adam is the closest thing we're going to get to our arch enemy with Shazam. Why would he not be in the movie? Or maybe DC is holding that information. As for Shazam, yes, this is the character that was originally created as Captain Marvel back in 1940, making his first appearance in Wiz Comics #2. And it was a clear ripoff of Superman. He's now in the DC family under the name Shazam, and the Captain Marvel name now belongs to Marvel. That's a whole other story about how we got here. I'll explain it in another video another day. Speaking of bad set leaks, Marvel is not immune either because this image of Brie Larson as Captain Marvel has leaked. And the most obvious thing is, why is it like this off green when the Captain Marvel costume is bright red? And it should look like this and not like this. So here's the thing, the reputation of DC is in tatters, but the reputation of Marvel is always in good standing, so they're gonna get the benefit of the doubt, which I'm going to give to them right now. Marvel's first version of Captain Marvel was Mar-Vell, a Kree warrior who comes to Earth with the rank of captain. And captains in the Kree military wear green. Majors wear orange, colonels wear blue, and generals wear red. Brie Larson is a human in the American military who's a fighter pilot. And no, she is not a Kree warrior. She was originally Miss Marvel and got upgraded to Captain Marvel after the death of Mar-Vell, Marvel's first Captain Marvel. I know, it's very complicated. I'll have to explain it in more detail one day. So my theory is that her greenish looking suit is from Act 1 of the movie, which pays homage to Mar-Vell, the original Captain Marvel, in green. In Act 2 of the movie, she's gonna get the bright red with the blue and the gold that we know. So under those circumstances, it makes sense. And think about it, who do you trust more in the movies? DC with what they've been doing, or Marvel with what they've been doing? But anyway, Shazam makes its debut on April 5th, 2019 in theaters, and Marvel's Captain Marvel is scheduled for March 8th, 2019. So they'll be in the theaters at the same time. Another thing to consider is maybe both uniforms will use some CGI that you can't see in these set photos. All right, you know what time it is. Next up is the speculation pick of the week. For March 7th, 2018, that pick is going to be Rick and Morty presents the Vindicators #1 from Oni Press. These characters have already appeared in the cartoon. Now they're getting some love in the comic book format. Do I really have to tell you about Rick and Morty? They have been a pop culture phenomenon. When it comes to adult cartoons, the 1990s were ruled by The Simpsons, the 2000s were ruled by South Park, and the 2010s, it's been Rick and Morty all the way. The Vindicator characters are basically going to be a spoof of the Avengers, Justice League, the Teen Titans, and Guardians of the Galaxy. One of the characters is a black guy that conjures up construct that just so happened to be green, so yeah, this is supposed to be John Stewart, Green Lantern. The Vindicator's arch enemy is the World Ender, most likely a spoof of Darkseid or Thanos. The Vindicators were immediately popular as soon as they were published. Check out this fan-made art. Isn't that incredible? The popularity of the Vindicators is increasing. The print run numbers on Oni Press are always very low, so I think this is a good book to pick up and to hold on to for a while. It could pay off later. The runner-up is going to be Infinity Countdown, #1 of a 5-part miniseries from Marvel Comics. With the live-action Infinity War movie coming up in May, everyone's going to be Infinity Stone crazy. So this is going to be a good up-to-date story that kind of explains it to the audiences a little bit better. It's not a direct tie into the movie, but it will explain more about which stone is which. There's going to be at least 8 covers or possibly more for this. I don't know how many store variants there are going to be. The one that people are going to be fighting over the most is this Adi Granov version that shows Captain Marvel holding an Infinity Stone. It looks absolutely spectacular. That's what Granov does. If you really love Granov's work and you can get this under $20, I would say do it. You probably heard me and other pundits reporting that Disney is trying to buy Fox for $52 billion. It looks like it's a done deal, but not so fast. Comcast has something to say about it. Comcast is trying to make a bid for the Sky Television network in Europe, and they just outbid Fox and put up $31 billion to buy Sky. And you may ask, what does this have to do about the price of tea in China? Well, here's the thing. Fox has been wanting to buy Sky forever because they want that very lucrative contract for the broadcast rights for the English Premier Soccer League. Fox owns about 40% of Sky, but they want to be the majority owner. But European regulators blocked the deal so far because they were concerned about how Fox runs their business, like the element of sexual harassment at Fox. So after years of protecting Bill O'Reilly, who's a scumbag, they finally fired him. His sexual harassment of women was hurting the Fox brand, therefore the deal. So he became expendable, so they kicked him out. Comcast doesn't have the money or the leverage to buy Fox outright, which Disney can, so to get in the way of the deal, they want to buy Sky. So basically, Fox wants to buy Sky and Disney wants to buy Fox because Disney says we can get the X-Men back, we can be the majority owners of Hulu, and we can get the Sky network through Fox because they're going to acquire Sky in the first place. Comcast's counter move makes the value of Fox go up. Therefore, if the value of Fox goes up, Disney has to come back to Fox with a bigger offer, say $100 billion. So if Comcast can't stop this from happening, at least they can make Disney overpay for it, just like on Storage War. I know this whole thing is very complicated. I will have to dedicate a rant to this and go over it in detail in about 30 minutes because there's so much here. So basically, Disney buying Fox is not a done deal, folks, with all these moving pieces around. So if you had any ideas of Galactus or the Silver Surfer showing up in Infinity War Part 2, then forget about it because that's not going to happen. The close, Black Panther has been out for 14 days and has made $756 million worldwide. Justice League was out for 103 days and only made $657. If I would have told you that 2 years ago, you wouldn't have believed it. Marvel is looking like this, while DC is looking like this. At this point, I think that DC should consider doing a full reboot of their movie universe. They should do a Wonder Woman trilogy, which they currently have right now, let that end in 2021, and reintroduce the DCEU in 2022, completely rebooted. Flashpoint, Batgirl, Shazam, none of that is going to fix it. They need a full reboot in 4 years. Tell me what you think in the comment section. You know the drill. Subscribe to this channel, give it a thumbs up, and share it on social media so others can learn about comic power. Once again, thank you to all my subscribers and viewers. It only gets better from here.